Greetings, I'm John the Verbose, and this is an update about the Reformed Druids of North America, and particularly Oakdale Grove. It's been a long time since we've had a regular video, and a lot has changed, but we're still doing Druidry, and we're hoping that the pandemic will end soon so that we can resume a semblance of normal activity. So today we have two updates. One of them is announcing a new Druid newsletter, and the other one is announcing the development of a Druid training program for the Reformed Druids of North America. First, with the newsletter, we have the Connexus of Reformed Druids Biquarterly, or just C.O.R.D for short. It follows footsteps in earlier RDNA periodicals such as a Druid Miscellany and the Druid Inquirer. This new e-zine is basically an online PDF newsletter. It is free and the content is heavily reader driven. If you're a Druid or Druid adjacent or otherwise have an affinity for all things Druidry, we welcome any contributions. And whatever inspires you, if you feel inspired to contribute, we would welcome you to volunteer anything. Anything. What do we look for C.O.R.D? News of RDNA and nRDNA groves and protogroves, druidic projects, arts, crafts, anything that you're making, personal milestones, editorials, druidic book or product reviews or critiques, seeker bulletins like solo druid looking for other druids in Nebraska or something, your own photography, links to videos of druidic interest, and these not necessarily need to be your own. Like if we're going to link something in from YouTube, we can share it that way. Links to your blogs or social media if you wish to share that with other like-minded individuals, divinations and your summaries of them, events you're willing to announce publicly. This is a publicly available periodical. Maybe a Druidry related meme. If we get a ton of submissions for memes, we'll probably limit the number that get into the newsletter. Healing thoughts requests, or also, if you have like an Etsy shop or a similar online store, one page of the newsletter, actually it's upgraded to 2 pages now, are reserved for artisan promo space at no cost. So basically, if you're trying to get more attention drawn into an Etsy shop you have selling OM sets, then you can request if there's space available in the next article of C.O.R.D, and then you can get your promo space there. And it's pretty much first come, first serve, but free to you. And then you could also propose topics, because the newsletter is reader driven and you can help make it to be a success. And so links to the current articles, we started putting out one bi-quarterly starting on the autumnal equinox of 2020. And the next one is coming out for the spring equinox. And then we're having a special edition on April Fool's Day that if you have anything irreverent, silly, or absolutely absurd, but still in a druidic context, that we'd love to have that. That is my update for the new newsletter. Next on this video's agenda is to announce a new Druid training program for the Reformed Druids of North America. Being one of the older neo-druidic organizations, it has never really had a formal study program, and a lot of people have asked for direction and learning, because our books, our literature are available at no cost, and but it doesn't come with any type of directed training. And that's also, a training program would also be kind of antithetical to the premise of Reformed Druidry, where basically your path to Druidry is your own, and your research is your responsibility, and anything that you are taught could end up being like just this narrow set of indoctrinated beliefs. And it's supposed to be your journey, not this prepackaged one. And so that was kind of tricky to start creating a training program. And because of that, we have added an indoctrination warning. And so it's a light-hearted warning that's just saying that these words, now that they're put into print, could be fossilized as the end-all be-all of Reformed Druidry, and it is not. There is so much more to it than what we can offer you, and you have to go out and experience the rest on your own. But we do provide some direction, some exercises, and coursework for you to have a well-rounded start. So I have the syllabus pulled up for that. Its program title right now is just Oakdale Grove's Druid Training Program. The type is self-study and also distance learning compatible. There are no prerequisites before starting this course. There are no meeting times. There's no online seminar for it. The course duration has no minimum or maximum time period. It has no cost. It is facilitated by Oakdale Grove's Council of Dalan Aplandu. The required materials and texts include Oakdale Grove's Druid Training Program, which is a digital workbook. It'll be in PDF form that is fillable, that you can type things up in it. You can click check boxes and attestation buttons. And so you need a device and software for viewing a PDF workbook, a journal that is external to the workbook, and so a blog will also suffice if you prefer digital media, and that would be designated for your Druidry. A functional, regularly maintained email address, so that if you have any questions with the program, you would be able to contact the facilitators. We wouldn't be serving in a mentorship capacity per se, but when you have completed it, we would send return correspondence such as a certificate of completion. Also required materials would be access to nature. I hope that is understood as a given, but we wanted to be perfectly clear. And then the other thing you need is a copy of A Reformed Druid Anthology, 2nd edition preferred, and that's this book here. This book doesn't really exist in print. I made this one myself a few years ago, and it exists as free PDFs that we can provide to you, and they're already available at no cost anyway. Some recommended materials would be a camera, a walking staff, chalice, sickle, and ritual garb. They're not required materials, just recommendations. A new honorary order has been added within the RDNA called the Order of Bradan Feasa, which is Irish Gaelic for the Salmon of Knowledge. And that order is for those who complete the program. Upon completion of this training program, you would be inducted into the Order of Bradan Feasa, or OBF for short, and shall have a working understanding of the following topics: the overview of the ancient Druids from classical antiquity to the early Middle Ages, overview of Druidry revival movement in the Age of the Enlightenment, history, customs, rituals, and philosophy of Reformed Druidism, various practices and philosophies of broader Druidism and nature-based spirituality, enhanced awareness of the patterns of nature and seasonality in your environment, and specifically among members of Oakdale Grove, members shall successfully complete this course as prerequisite to ordination to the priesthood. And then as far as the units, right now we have 2 main units, which is the workbook of lectures, activities, attestations, essays, and we have a lengthy table of contents of right now 70 different topics, and they're combinations of essays or projects and readings. And then there is Unit 2, which is the ARDA study course, and the study course will have short answer and numerous small essays to demonstrate comprehension of the volume. and then there will be an exam on the anthology. And so when it comes to grading, your path to Druidism is unique. This program asks for a significant amount of subjective content from you in both course units. There will be no traditional grading methodology employed in Unit 1. Instead, Unit 1 will ultimately have an incomplete or a complete status. Unit 2 is the ARDA study course and will be validated on completion of the short answer and essay prompts, as well as a graded exam. A passing grade is prerequisite before certification, as well as completion status of Units 1 and 2. Since there's no formal testing environment or time allotment or proctorial supervision, the exam is open book. Therefore, a higher score is required in order to pass. There is no limit on the number of attempts to pass the exam. And so for the passing score on the ARDA exam, it requires 80% or higher. After you pass the exam and course completion has been validated, facilitators will send you a digital certificate of induction to the Order of Bradan Feasa, OBF. If desired, a high-quality printed certificate can be purchased and mailed. So, there are more details in the syllabus, and I have added that to the description. So I'm sure a lot of you might have some questions, and I'd be glad to field them. And I don't have anything else, and I won't take any more time. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day. There's a cliff here.